Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie, and this channel is chronicling my journey of living my best life with multiple chronic health conditions. I mentioned in the last video I would probably do a mental health update for the next video, so that's what this is. It hasn't been horrible. There are periods of the year that it's worse than others because they are PTSD anniversary type reactions, and I'm pretty much used to those. Once I figure out what's going on, they pass relatively quickly. I no longer spiral like I used to do for a month or more, so that's really nice. I don't really spiral much anymore. I can't really remember the last time I would consider my mental health to have spiraled. There's definitely times when it's worse than others, but in the large scheme of things and comparing to where I was previously, it's not been anywhere near as bad. So that's really good. Other than the PTSD times of year, the only other time it really gets worse than its baseline, I would say, is when I'm not doing well physically, and that normally comes after a period of time of overdoing it that's taking longer to recover from. I'm currently still recovering from probably earlier in the month, probably like the first week of December, when I had like a really busy day, and then I drove to Philadelphia the next day and did the physical therapy doctor appointment thing. And I'm pretty sure my arms are still recovering from that. They seem to be better today. I'm probably still going to take it easy as far as doing things, because they definitely still burn super quickly whenever doing something. Even just like grabbing food out of the bags from the store or reaching up in my closet to get clothes, they are burning rather quickly. So not back to what I would consider my baseline. I don't know if this is just my new baseline. There's always that possibility as well. But yeah, when things aren't going well, like functionally, and especially when I've had appointments and I can't get any help, and those appointments, excuse me, I do not know what's going on with my voice this morning. When those appointments sort of show that I'm functionally declining and then I still can't get help, it is not good for my mental health, but it's still not a spiral like it was before. I'm very close to sort of not continuing to search for answers, because I'm not sure I want to do what it would take to possibly get answers, because I still wouldn't have a provider or a location that I would trust to manage me. It has been long enough now, and I've met with enough providers that if they're not able to look at the physiology and sort of go from there, that I would not trust them just because like one certain test was abnormal. That's not a person I want to work with. That's not a person who's looking at the big picture. That's a person who is gatekeeping based on very specific tests. And that's just not going to be a person that's going to be able to provide the type of care that I want, which is collaborative, which is whole person care, which is looking at the big picture. And I'm just not going to waste my time with that anymore. And it sort of leaves me in a position to, well, maybe I'm done. Maybe I just try to do the best I can, and that's all there is. And sometimes that is not the greatest for my mental health, because I am functionally declining with no apparent end in sight and still not getting help. But I don't know. I'll make a decision eventually, I guess. And until then, I've sort of made the decision to not pursue things right now. So a lack of a decision is a decision, and I'm well aware of that. I'm just tired of taking energy and making trends and tables, and it's still not enough somehow. So we'll see. But that's really what's going on mental health wise. So long as things are sort of stable, I'm stable. When I notice a functional decline, like noticing like reaching up in the closet is now burning my arms, or just reaching into a bag that's on the stove to get food out when I get food delivered, groceries delivered, is starting to burn. And then pairing that with not getting help, like that can make things worse mental health wise. But other than that, it's pretty stable, and I don't really foresee that changing. I am in a pretty stable place and have been for a couple years now, I think. So that's really good. I'm probably more stable than I've ever, maybe not ever been, but I'm more stable than I've been in a long time, mental health wise. But yeah, just trying to figure out what to do health wise while also keeping my mental health in mind, because I know how not getting help affects my mental health. So when I'm deciding whether or not to go through with further testing and whatnot, I also need to keep in mind what effect that's going to have on my mental health. What if testing is negative? What if testing is positive but you still can't get help? What if? So I don't know, but right now I say my mental health is it's not perfectly like at baseline. It's lower than baseline, I would say, but it's not to my recent lowest. So it's somewhere in the middle, which I guess isn't a horrible place to be, and it's nowhere near my absolute lowest, so that's good. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this one. Not sure what the next video will be about because not a lot's going on. Oh, it will probably be going over more of my lab work, because I do have my primary doctor appointment coming up on Tuesday. So that's probably what I'll do next time, and we'll just go from there. I do plan on talking to my primary doctor about what to do as far as how to get help, ideally without having to have more testing, but we'll see what she says and go from there. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day whenever it is you are seeing this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.